Hello everyone and welcome to some MiSTer FPGA news. This week we will be talking about a Lemmings Arcade prototype, Nintendo 64 FPU updates, Sega Saturn updates, Geo CD updates, and more. So let's get to it. RMC The Cave posted an image of an inoperable prototype PCB for the arcade version of Lemmings. Track 17 then recognized some of the custom chips in the image and believes this game could be a candidate for the upcoming RoboCop 2 core. Looks like they will be in contact to help resolve this. The Lemmings Arcade game was to be published by Data East, so there's a good chance that it probably does use hardware similar to RoboCop 2, another Data East game. Lemmings Arcade was never released or completed. It used trackball controls and also had a fast forward feature. It would really be cool to get this piece of history working on MiSTer, but if you don't want to wait, it is playable on MAME. Adam Gastineau's new Game & Watch core has now been released. It even supports Tiger Electronics handhelds. In this release, there are a total of 89 supported titles. The Tiger support is experimental, and Adam said at least one title doesn't seem to be working correctly. Tiger handheld support was a last-minute addition, so it does need more work. Later in the week, Adam also posted a new update that added fixes and a new inactive LCD feature. This update made several titles playable that were stuck on the start screen. I remember playing these handles, and while even back then they were simple compared to what you played on an Atari 2600 and NES, you could still have some good fun with them. The core looks to be only downloadable through GitHub because when I updated my MiSTer, it did not appear. You can support Adam by donating through GitHub. Infidelity was still trying to nail down issues on the MiSTer FPGA with the NES to Super NES port of Zelda. But thanks to Akari01 for altering the MSU1 engine code, that seems to have solved the crashing issues on MiSTer. You can obtain the latest version of the build on archive.org. Last I spoke about the Nintendo 64 core, Robert just started working on the FPU and only 3 very simple floating point operations have passed testing. This new update Robert gave let us know that 83% of the 2,418 FPU tests are now passing. There are only 3 instructions left to be implemented. Another later post told us that the N64 core FPU is nearly complete, and some floating point demos are even working now. Pramod shows some more progress of the NARC core. On Twitter, he posted a video showing the core going past the self-test and booting the game showing the high score screen. You do eventually see some glitching. I'm really excited to see the progress this game is having. The MiSTer MultiSystem board and all-in-one I/O motherboard from Heber is now fully open source. The schematics source, PCB, Gerbers, and more are all up on GitHub. They fully support anyone that wants to use the MultiSystem design for whatever the reason they choose, as long as it's under the GPL 3.0 license. The MultiSystem is an all-in-one I/O board that combines a number of existing MiSTer hardware developments and adds more expandability while staying 100% compatible with the MiSTer project. SRG320 posted the latest updates for the in-progress Sega Saturn core. Notable updates to VDP1 are that sprite drawing was reworked, support for pre-clipping was also added, and there's initial support for Gouraud shading. For VDP2, byte access for CRAM was fixed, and on the CPU there was a fix for an overflow in the division unit. Keep in mind that this core is still under heavy development and there are no official releases. However, users have taken the source code and provided builds. I'll provide links to download these unofficial builds in the description. There is a new unstable build of the Geo CD core, and a new unstable build of MiSTer Main to go along with it. It looks like MiSTer might soon have official Geo CD support because the latest unstable build of MiSTer Main specifically says that Geo CD support is added. Updates to the actual Geo CD core include support for the Unibios and CDZ support was added, ask FPGA before sending sector, and there's a 1x to 4x CD speed increase. The Geo CD was notoriously known to have slow CD loading, so this is a great quality of life addition. I should stress that there will not be a completely new core with just Geo CD support, but that the current Neo Geo core will add CD support. Check out the description to obtain the latest unofficial build. Hotego announced that Crime Fighters, a side-scrolling arcade beat-em-up by Konami, was added to the JT Aliens core. Also, Haunted Castle has now been promoted to public release. You can download through the Update All script. Maintenance fixes were also done to Midnight Resistance, Slice Spy, Bubble Bobble, and F1 Dream. So that's it for this episode. I provided links to all my sources in the description. Make sure you also check out RetroRGB.com to see my MiSTer News videos in blog form and to get more retro related content. And if possible, support them on Patreon too. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. And if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button and its bell icon so you can get notified of future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.